Let's welcome Mr. Subramaniam KV, Senior Vice President, Radiance Renewables. Mr. Subramaniam has more than 15 years of experience in business development, strategy, P&L management, and operations, roles across energy, environment, real estate, and oil and gas sectors. Mr. Subramaniam will present his views on round-the-clock renewable for industrial and commercial sectors in India. So, let's welcome Mr. Subramaniam.
So the company is backed by a reputed investor called Eversource Capital. Eversource is a joint venture of Everstone, the very well-known real estate private equity firm, and Lightsource BP, the private equity firm known for its global renewable presence. The cornerstone investment into the company has come from National Investment Infrastructure Fund and Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. Close to 1,200 crores of equity is infused into the company to develop renewable energy assets dedicated to supplying green power to commercial and industrial enterprises. So today we operate close to about 510 megawatt peak or 501, and now it's closing to 510 megawatt peak of solar power assets across close to 19 states in the country. We operate across three models: open access, group captive, open access third party, and rooftops or behind the meter within the premises of the consumer. That's about the company. So let me dwell a little bit into what is open access and how it is relevant to industrial and commercial enterprises. As you can see, the procurement through the open access route is kind of a phenomena which is over 2 decades, close to 2 decades in India. Initially started largely for captive thermal power plants, and then evolved into wind power plants largely down south, and then now it has become very common to procure renewable energy through the open access route across solar, wind, and also thermal power for the industrial consumption. Now, specific to renewable power, over the last, I would say, close to starting perhaps 2016-17, and then from there, just less than a decade, but maybe in the last 7 to 8 years, there's been a substantial increase of energy that is procured through the open access route for consumption by industrial and commercial customers. And as you can see in this graph, close to about 23 gigawatts of renewable energy is procured by commercial and industrial enterprises, almost split equally between solar and wind farms. Now, the surge of late post-COVID has been very prominent, given that there is an inherent cost advantage, and also companies were looking for operational savings, coupled with a very active policy push by the government and further adoption of that policy by many states, largely the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and to good extent, the rooftop policies have been adopted across multiple states, but the open access policies have been quite congenial for asset development in the states that I have mentioned. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh also is a state where there's been a huge push towards renewables. Of late, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh are also contributing to this, penetration of open access for commercial and industrial installations. There is a strong growth that is expected and forecasted, close to about 10 gigawatts of assets every year. 30% of that wind and 70% of that being solar will get added in the next half a decade or so, year on year, catering again largely to industrial and commercial enterprises. As you would know, industrial and commercial enterprises in the country consume more than 50% of the energy that is produced in the country, but not much. This slide gives you an idea of how much actually is procured from renewable power. So this is the data as of 2021, while this has increased to almost close to 8,800 terawatt, the consumption remains close to about 6% of the total energy that is consumed by the industry. Only about 6% is consumed is through renewable sources. So if let's say this becomes 800 terawatt hours, this will be close to about 50 terawatt hours as of today when we are talking in 2024. Right? Even if we add up the distribution companies' sourcing of renewable power, this would not cross over 15% total renewable power consumption. So this presents a as we are talking about prospects and energy prospects, this presents a wide opportunity for investment as well as savings potential that is available for the entire industry to take advantage of, and also the need for rapid decarbonization coupled with the economic opportunity that is available. And if credible investment is put behind these projects, I think this will leapfrog India into the next energy revolution. How do companies adopt to RE100? I'll just conclude with this slide. There are four such ways in which we can do this. One is you can simply build your own rooftop within the premises where you are having your give you up to 15 to 20% of the renewable power. Then you can contract open access through a captive or a third party mode within the state, that is intrastate or state transmission utility related open access. Increase that to the central transmission utility related open access, then you can go up to 80% renewables, and the gap in between can be bridged through RECs, renewable energy certificates, or by signing a virtual power purchase agreement. So thus, any industry in India today can aim to reach RE100 in the next, coupled with a few policy enablers in the next, which are envisaged in the next 1 year or so, can aim to reach RE100. However, reaching an RE50, RE60 is very easy for most enterprises in India.
Thank you, Mr. Subramaniam, for sharing your views.